Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Georgia Tech versus Georgia. The annual clash between Georgia Tech and Georgia carries its usual mix of rivalry stakes and strategic implications, with both teams entering the matchup with much to play for. Georgia Tech, 7-4, has exceeded expectations this season and finds itself poised for a bowl bid, likely facing Michigan in the Mayo Bowl. Meanwhile, Georgia, 9-2, has locked in an SEC championship berth and remains firmly in the college football playoff picture. The Yellow Jackets have proven to be resilient this season, winning their last two games against quality opponents in Miami, 28-23, and NC State, 30-29. Their success is anchored in a balanced defensive attack and a defense that bends but doesn't break. Impressively, Tech boasts a perfect 5-0 home record and has swept the state of North Carolina, defeating Duke, UNC, and NC State. Despite their overall success, Georgia Tech has struggled against the spread ATS, going 5-5-1 and failing to cover in 3 of their last 4 contests. They're also a strong underteam with an 8-3 record against the total. Key injuries, particularly to starting QB Haynes King, have required freshman Aaron Philo to step up, and he has delivered in clutch moments, including a game-winning scramble against NC State last week. Offensively, Georgia Tech averages 27.9 points per game while allowing 23.1. Their run-heavy approach, led by junior RB Jamal Haynes, 717 yards, 9 TDs, pairs well with their offensive line, which has allowed just 1 sack every 2 games. Defensively, the Yellow Jackets rank 41st nationally in total defense, allowing 340 yards per game. The Bulldogs enter this game with high stakes, needing one more win to solidify their playoff credentials. With a balanced offense led by senior QB Carson Beck, Georgia averages 33.2 points per game. Beck's 65% completion rate and 23 touchdowns have been pivotal, though his 12 interceptions are a concern. Defensively, Georgia is a powerhouse, ranking 16th nationally by allowing just 312 total yards per game and excelling on third downs, 31.9% conversion rate allowed. The Bulldogs have been dominant in key matchups, including wins over Clemson, Tennessee, and Texas, but have struggled ATS this season, 3-8. This game comes down to Georgia's motivation and Tech's ability to control the clock with their rushing attack. While Georgia is heavily favored, minus 19.5, this spread feels inflated given the Yellow Jackets' ability to stay competitive in recent games, especially against stronger opponents. Additionally, Georgia's focus may be split with the SEC championship looming. It's unlikely they risk injury to key players if the game is well in hand. Take Georgia Tech plus 19.5. The Yellow Jackets have proven capable of staying within striking distance and should do so again. Under 54 points. Both teams lean on their defenses and run-heavy offenses, particularly in a cold weather game, which should slow the pace and limit scoring. Expect a physical battle with Georgia securing the win, but Georgia Tech covering the spread in Athens. Nebraska versus Iowa. Nebraska's 2023 season is a tale of redemption. The Cornhuskers at 6-5 broke a bowl game drought dating back to 2016, capped by a commanding 44-25 victory over Wisconsin. That win showcased their potential, as Dylan Raiola led the charge with precision passing, and the backfield duo of Dante Dowdell and Emmett Johnson delivered on the ground. However, Nebraska's inconsistency throughout the season looms large, particularly against top-tier opponents. With a freshman quarterback and a rushing attack ranking just 98th nationally, they face an uphill battle against a disciplined Iowa squad. Iowa, sitting at 7-4, is a model of consistency, particularly on defense. The Hawkeyes have dominated this rivalry, winning 8 of the last 9 meetings, and boast one of the nation's top rushing offenses behind Caleb Johnson's standout season. With Cade McNamara and Brendan Sullivan sidelined, Iowa's reliance on the run game and opportunistic defense has kept them in contention. Notably, their turnover-forcing defense and home field advantage, coupled with Nebraska's volatility, make the Hawkeyes a formidable foe in this Friday night clash. My team pick is Iowa minus 4.5. The Hawkeyes' consistency, home field advantage, and Nebraska's struggles with turnovers give them the edge. My total pick is over 39.5. Both teams have playmakers capable of producing big moments, even in a defensively dominated game. Expect Iowa to lean on their ground game and defensive acumen to secure another victory over Nebraska in what could be a high-energy, albeit grinded-out, Big Ten showdown. Utah versus UCF. Both Utah and UCF are enduring disappointing seasons, but UCF has shown signs of life in recent weeks, while Utah appears to be limping toward the finish line. With Utah's quarterback issues and UCF's offensive resurgence led by freshman Dylan Rizek and star running back R.J. Harvey, this game leans heavily in favor of the Knights. UCF averages 32 points per game, boosted to 33.8 over their last 5 contests. R.J. Harvey is a dominant force, ranking 4th nationally in both rushing yards and touchdowns. With Rizek demonstrating accuracy and control in his starts, UCF's offense is firing on all cylinders. Utah's once formidable defense has faltered, allowing 40 points per game over their last 2. This decline could spell disaster against UCF's balanced attack. The Utes are on a 7-game skid, marred by injuries and a lack of consistency. Starting QB Isaac Wilson is questionable, and backup Luke Bottery has limited experience. Without a strong quarterback, Utah will lean heavily on RB Micah Bernard, but UCF's defense is well-equipped to stop the run. The Utes' defense, a bright spot earlier in the season, is likely gassed after carrying the team through tough stretches. UCF's defense isn't elite, but is solid against a run, ranking 37th nationally. With Utah's passing game struggling, UCF can focus on limiting Bernard and forcing Bottery to make plays under pressure. Utah's offensive ineptitude, combined with UCF's opportunistic defensive line, makes turnovers likely. Utah is essentially playing out the string, while UCF looks to end their season on a high note at home. The long trip to Florida adds another layer of difficulty for the Utes. Utah's issues at quarterback and lack of motivation give UCF a clear path to a double-digit victory. The Knights' offense is too dynamic for Utah's defense to contain, especially given their recent struggles. Pick UCF minus 9.5 points. Utah's offensive woes, coupled with UCF's strong run defense, point to a lower-scoring game. UCF should control the clock with their ground game, while Utah struggles to find the end zone. Despite UCF's recent overs, this matchup sets up for a slower pace. Pick under 47.5 points. UCF's balanced offensive attack and superior motivation will carry the day, while Utah closes out a nightmare season with another tough loss.